So good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hi Pickles. How are you today? If you're watching on YouTube right now, hello. I keep hitting my glasses. I don't know. Today's the day where I'm gonna smack myself in the face. Good morning, Millicent. How are you? Allowed to moderate and allowed to moderate. Good morning. Okay, so I'll do an update on the tariffs in a second. I just need to find a picture of orange tariff. Good morning, Angela Ashley. How are you? Good morning, Liam. How are you doing? Allow to moderate. There we go. So I'll do an update. Thank you, Millicent. I'll do an update in a second. Oh my goodness. I got too much sun again. Holy cow, you don't notice it until you got a camera in your face. Gook. Gook. Why is gook that must be an inappropriate phrase. I just realized tariff cartoon or something. I'm looking for a cartoon to use for a tariff. It's okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, this one works. Okay. Download image. Good morning. Hello, EastEnder resales. How are you? All right, I'm not going to look. Hockadoodle dude, Canadian Chief, what's up? How are you doing? That show was a lot of fun. If you don't know, Canadian Chief helped out a new Canadian seller, Sam Knott, by just doing the co-host where an experienced seller co-host, like you as a new seller, get an experienced seller to co-host and just kind of hang out with you so you don't feel alone for your first show and talk you through things and help you out. And that was really awesome of you, Canadian Chief. And it was kind of fun to just kind of see you and hear you just kind of chattering away as opposed to selling. It was awesome. Thank you for doing that. Soul Shine Vintage Florida. Good morning. Angel Kisses by Jan. Good morning. Canadian Chief says Sam is a good friend. Thank you for being there and your support. Really great stuff. I'm sorry I couldn't stay. It's absolutely crazy. And tomorrow I will not be doing my show. Apologies, but I have a live auction that starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. So I'm going to be in the middle of that fun. So I'm trying to be careful. So I'm going to create a quality listing because I'm going to add a tariff because the tariffs, I keep talking about tariffs, but I don't have like a thing to pin, which I should. So, why don't I just, okay, screenshot is easier. There. Then it should be where I want it. There we go. And complete. Snacks and candy, we're going to call it. Tariff update. So I'm going to give you a tariff update. Oh, thank you, Millicent. Oh, wow, it didn't red chat your boobs. That's interesting. You know what I mean? It didn't red chat you saying boobs. That's a good clip for somebody on YouTube. Update you on tariffs. Okay, so there is an update on tariffs for everybody, for my American friends and for my Canadian sellers. Just everybody needs to know it, and it's going to be very expensive. Candlestick holders. There we go. Publish. Angie, good morning. How are you? Good morning, Cheryl. Canadian Chief. There's a lot of people who are modded right now. So good morning, Shop with Tasha. How are you? Yeah, I only put one thing in my buy it now because it's, today I can't ship anything until starting Sunday. So I don't want anyone to buy anything having expectations of me delivering quickly. We love you. We love you, Canadian Chief. So, all right, let's do a tariff update. So I now officially have a tariff update thing. So if you want to, you can go to my auction tab and you can just click on that little, alarm bell. And then whenever I pin this to talk about it, you'll get alerted. So if you just want to find out about tariffs every once in a while, if that's your thing, then you can just bookmark that. And when I talk about it, you will see it. And yeah. So the update is that yesterday, a 3-judge panel, a U.S. federal judge panel of 3 judges. One was appointed by Reagan, one was appointed by Obama, and the other one was appointed by Trump. So he can't complain because it was a unanimous decision that all but all of the tariffs that were in question during this particular court case, there's other court cases that are still going on. They Those other court cases that are still going on. So automotive and automotive parts are still an issue. However, all these tariffs that were declared based on that there was a fentanyl crisis and it was an emergency and America's under attack and the Liberation Day tariffs, they were all determined by this federal court, 3 judges, 2 appointed by Republicans, one of them was appointed by Trump. They all unanimously said, you know what? Totally unconstitutional, which was not news to the rest of us who know how to read the Constitution. And so it has been declared unconstitutional. However, does that mean that you should just start, if you're a US buyer, should you start buying from around the world with abandon? My recommendation is no. Still be cautious as if the tariffs are still on, because the Trump administration is appealing the decision. The Department of Justice has already put in an appeal or declared that they are going to appeal. No surprise. Now, this may be the excuse that this administration needs to get away from tariffs because they really did harm the economy. The good news is that if you have 401ks or RRSPs, your retirement funds are going to start going up again because the market got really excited yesterday about the news and got super happy. The Canadian dollar is down compared to the American dollar. The American dollar has rallied, so the Canadian dollar is slightly down. So assume that the tariffs are still on when you're buying until we know absolutely for sure that it comes out of the White House that we're not going to deal with tariffs anymore. But he likes the word. He really, really likes the word. And this particular administration does whatever it can to try and lick the boots. So it may be a while before it's going to be like, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. It could just be that again. They might, there is no loophole that they can find right now. But so my suggestion is keep selling and buying like before. Don't assume that the tariffs are completely eliminated, because this is going to be an ongoing battle to finally declare this unconstitutional. So there is my tariff update. All right. Any questions about that? I forgot to grab my tea. My tea's in the other room. Oh well. Okay. Good morning, everyone who's come in. Welcome in. That's a quick tariff update. I do have something in my show notes too. You know me. You can always, I've missed it all. Want me to restart? From the beginning. No, it's okay. I'm going to get my tea in a minute. I can survive. I really can. I just all of a sudden realized that I was a dum-dum, and I will have to nuke it now. Okay. So, Angie's this and that says it's a roller coaster ride I feel no one likes and wants off. Exactly. Okay, so speaking of roller coaster rides, so if it has been found to be unconstitutional, then so right now the tariffs are sort of off. However, it's a matter of, here's the history of this particular administration, is that any federal judge who declares something unconstitutional gets ignored. For example, there is a person who was an American resident who never got his habeas corpus due process and was arrested and taken to El Salvador and has been in a Salvadorian prison. Yeah, this is Stalin. And instead of Siberia, it's El Salvador, a different country. And then the excuse is, well, we can't because he's already in a different country. Like, you just handed people over. Anyways. And by the way, he doesn't have MS-13 type-faced on his knuckles, but I digress. So The administration tends to ignore government rulings. And please note that the big, beautiful budget bill, that's a lot of B's. He really likes alliteration. The big, beautiful budget bill, that big, beautiful bill in it has a clause, I think it's section 7, has a clause whereby if this stupid bill gets passed, there will be no funding for federal courts to go after, like to go and arrest for contempt of court. So, for example, if right now, technically, the Department of Justice is in contempt of court because they have not followed the ruling to bring back Abrego Garcia. They're still kind of, it's all stuck in legal matters, but there is no recourse. There is no way for, if the funding is taken away, there is no way for contempt of court to be pursued. There is like a little clause where, if there was a bond beforehand, but so every judge is going to have to put a bond on everything, and then the money from the bond is what will get used. So if you're just a little guy and you say what got done to me is unconstitutional and you don't have the money to put up a bond, oh well, if they rule in your favor, there's nothing that the courts can do. So anyways, I want you to actually think about that. Read about it yourself. Don't listen to me. I'm a Canadian. I just read the news and I read legislation, because what else are you going to do when you're on the toilet but read legislation? It's fun. Final boss came in at a weird moment, and hi Lexi. So just read the legislation. My American friends, I love you and I want you to be in a country where you're free. True, like we're true north strong and free, and we're gonna stay that way. Ivers hasn't been in a while. I guess he has enough denim jackets. Speaking of people who don't really want the true north strong and free. Hello, final boss. Commodore Schmidtlap. Ooh, Schmidtlap. That is one heck of a name. I love it. Retro City, how are you? Okay, Canada Post update. Here we go. Canada Post update is that yesterday Canada Post gave the union their final and best offer. Now they've done final and best offer before, but so it's in quotes, final and best offer. And if you want to, you can go to cupw.ca and read all about it. You can read the union's response. Here's the gist. They made a little bit of changes to a couple of things to try and say we fixed it. And the union is like, you haven't. And I put a quote in my notes about what precisely the union said, so that you can understand that we're not anywhere close to a resolution. So the union said last night, they said there are almost no changes from what the employer put forward on May 21st. There's no question. Canada Post is not negotiating. Canada Post is playing hardball. That's the union's attitude. So, and this was said to be the final and best offer. So, hang on to your socks. I know, Mrs. 420, Stina. Hang on to your socks. We are probably on our way to a strike. Like, if this is the final offer, I feel like it's like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Like, are you absolutely sure before we you don't want to switch briefcases? Final offer. Replace the container. Canada doesn't have more to give. Just let Canada Post die and be replaced. So right now, the problem is that like in 2015, there was an opportunity to sell off Canada Post and do what the UK did, and because of politics, because of minority government politics at the time, they could totally make a show from this. It is a soap opera. You guys are right. So it's not financially viable. It's not something anybody wants to buy. Except for they've got stake in Purelator, right? They got Purelator's doing okay. They've got a majority stake in that. So I think, yeah, I think it's going to end up with legislation. But anyways, it sucks, and expect that we are on our way to a strike. Now, please note, it's in my show notes too. Please note, Saturday, tomorrow morning. No, wait, is this Thursday? Is this Thursday? Is this Thursday? This is Thursday, right? Yes, it's Thursday. Oh my God. Yeah, it's Thursday. Okay, good. All right. So Saturday, all of a sudden I was in a panic because I thought it was Friday and I have like way too much to do for the auction. So Saturday, during the day, the postal union is going to be doing rallies. They're going to have rallies all over the country. So they're going to be walking in front of Canada Post buildings with signs, and they're going to be going back and forth. Okay. So it's going to look like a strike. Please don't panic, and please send, if you're on any chat groups, please tell people not to panic if they see a I can't, like, they see the union rallying on Saturday. So unless you hear it from me, like if there's a strike, I will come on and just go, cock-a-doodle-doo, we're having a strike. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go back to my auction. Like I'll pop up really quickly, say it, and then go. So you can always also, here's another hint. So if you want to know when I'm talking about shitty plug, what's up? If you know if you want to just be alerted when I talk about the Canada Post strike, just go up here and boop on that and turn on that alarm. That will send a notification, and you'll get a notification that says that Red Rooster is about to auction off your thing, which I'm not. I'm not going to auction off the Canada Post, but it's going to give you an alert. So that's the trick. So if you just do that, then if for some reason I have to pop up on Saturday to just say we're having a strike, you'll know that I popped up really quickly. Peacock Jewelry, they get strike pay from the union. They don't get paid by Canada Post. So they will get the same as they got last time, which is like peanuts. It's like, and they have to go, they get paid for like 3 hours of work, but it's like, yeah, and they have to go on the picket line for 4 hours. Yeah, it's the equivalent of 2 hours a day of their pay for 4 hours on the picket line. The news is that we're getting closer to them striking because the final offer from Canada Post is nowhere near what they want. If I had enough peanuts, Peacock, I could live off peanuts, except that I'm slightly allergic. So I'd have to live off of peanuts and Benadryl. So I don't know. I think the Benadryl would be way more expensive. When is my granny clothes show? I'm saving all that for the Northumberland vintage show. Although that suit, that pajama suit, I just might wear that in a show if it fits. Your mom is deadly allergic, Mrs. 420? Yeah. Yeah, I think it will look awesome. I'll add some like earrings and my pink glasses or something. I'll rock it out. I don't care. I'm willing to walk around town. Walk around town with like my thing on. You have a haunted blue. It's making noises. There might be something in it, Peacock. You should toss some sage down in there. Just like if you got some poultry seasoning in your cupboard, just like shake it down into the thing. That'll get rid of it. There you go. And some holy water. Yeah, just, make the sign of the cross or say ooga booga or something, depending on your religion. So, yeah, well, I mean, poultry season's got sage in it. Yeah, burn it, dump it, whatever. It smells like sage, I'm coming up with new witchy ways of doing things, okay, Timberwolf? Jeez. Canadian Chief says haunted pottery is something I'd be interested in. Then Canadian Chief, I have thousands of pieces of Blue Mountain haunted pottery. I'll say it's all haunted. Totally haunted. Yep. Haunted is how many truckloads would you like of haunted pottery? Angie says I had a possessed vacuum cleaner that would start and shut off itself. My son smashed it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's true. Peacock's one makes noises. Oh, that's a good question. Peacock, how haunted is it? Is it ancient burial ground haunted? Is it moving or just making noises? I suspect that there's something in it, like a bee or something got stuck in there. You had a TV that would turn on and off once. Alabama Matthew, good morning. How are you? Hi, Ginger. How are you? A cicada. Oh my gosh, those are so loud. I would throw it out. It's crackling sounds. I have no explanation, Peacock. Again, poultry seasoning. Just dash some poultry seasoning in it. It's crazing. It's crazing all on its own in a very loud way. Take video. Yeah, for sure. I bet you could go viral with that. Put it on the ticker talk. Oh, you had the swinging clowns, Mrs. 420? I sold some of those a while ago. There's probably like 5 of them in a box somewhere. I love those things. They are scary. They are scary, and they start moving like any little bit of wind, and they just start going, and it really is weird. Yeah. Okay, feel free to share your shows and ask your questions. It's rainy here too, Alabama. Matthew, it is rainy and overcast. We had rain overnight. So we're supposed to have no rain today. Fingers crossed. And no rain on Saturday. Saturday is supposed to be cool, but no rain. So I'm happy. You have, oh no, do you have another forest fire, Mrs. 420? That's no good. Yeah, I don't want rain on Saturday or tomorrow because I got to set up tomorrow. So I don't want to be stuck in a hot, muggy, enclosed tent. Manitoba is in a state of emergency right now. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, big love to Manitoba. If anyone has Club Flint is burning. And Jen says it's beautiful in the north, but the black flies are crazy. Flin Flon, Manitoba. Americans. That indeed is a real name. Flin Flon. We also have Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and Dildo, Newfoundland. They're being evacuated. Angie says our Walmart is closed due to a fire. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not shopping in Walmart until I guess hell freezes over at this point, feels like. Yes, everybody send the rain to Manitoba. I hope you stay safe. All my Manitoba friends, I hope you stay safe. Princess Chicky Nugs. Oh my gosh, that's an awesome name. Good morning. How are you? Okay, so there's the Canada Post update. And there is the free resource. No, the tariff update we did. So the last one is the free resources. And then we're good. Magical A, good morning. How are you? There's no real news on the Canada Post strike other than it's closer. We are closer to a Canada Post strike than we were before. I'm saying hi as I say that. I'm not saying I love the Canada Post strike. Just to clarify, you're in Winnipeg. Everybody, Winnipeg is safe. Everybody send love and rain thoughts to Manitoba because they have a huge wildfire happening right now. Canadian Chief says there's a lot of remote areas that are in a bad state now. Going to be a lot of displaced people. Yeah, that is so sad. And there's already a fair amount of homeless issues in Winnipeg. I didn't know that the places I was walking through were supposedly dangerous when I was there, which was a long time ago, I have to admit. But I just, I've always felt like if you leave everybody alone, they'll normally leave you alone, especially if you don't look like you're worth robbing. Alabama Matthew said, my Walmart fired my sister after 34 years and did away with her office job because of health problems she was having. Not a fan. Yeah. I could tell you stories about Home Depot. Yeah. Yeah. We're just, because we're Canadian, Alabama Matthew. So in Canada, because of the tariffs, Canadians have been avoiding American companies. You get the kids' medication there. It's easy to get their pharmacy is pretty cool. I do like their pharmacy. Canadian Chief says, yeah, the trouble usually happens to troublemakers. Keep your wits about you and you're pretty much fine wherever. Yeah. My only problem is that I say hi to people. And some people, I forget that some people, that's a trigger. So always remembering to be semi-nice, but not too nice. But I hate not making eye contact. Um, I feel awkward if I'm not making eye contact, but then I feel awkward if I worry that I'm triggering somebody's mental health. God, I worry too much about things I shouldn't. I should just be nice to everybody and let the chips fall. Mrs. 420 says I don't like making eye contact. Yeah. Hi, Melody. I'm waiting at the doctor's office for my back, and I think she forgot about me. Hello, I'm over here. Are you stuck in one of the rooms? You know where they like they check you in and you wait forever there, and then they take you to a room, and then you just sit in the room and you can hear everything that's going on in the other rooms. That always freaks me out because then I know whatever I'm saying to my doctor can be heard by all the other people who are waiting in the other rooms. Like the doctors don't like clearly the doctors don't test these things out when they set up these doctors' offices, right? Like everything you say, like I've heard some pretty interesting things coming out of the other room. Like things I don't need to know about somebody's preferences sexually that have caused some sort of injury. Like I just don't need to know that. So like I don't like going into doctor's offices partially for that reason because somebody's sitting in another room waiting for the doctor, listening to me talk to the doctor. So I feel extra awkward because like I feel like I also have to explain things to the person listening in. That's a little, I know. There's an issue there. I have some sort of issue. You can't hear anything, Melody. You should report on what you're hearing it from the other rooms. That's the fun part. But what happened to your back? Look at that. Look at all this love for all the other places in Canada. There's no one in the waiting room. Okay, they've forgotten about you. They probably left, went and got breakfast. They've totally left. Sorry. They left you. All right, it is 10:12. I'm going to be doing a short show today because I got to go and do more setup. You have had a spasm for a few weeks now. Ooh, chiropractor. Have you tried a chiropractor yet? A good one, not one of those ones that like takes a little machine and goes boop and says come back every week for the next 10 weeks and I might make that get fixed. Get the like cracker. A good cracker. Laser therapy fixed your back. Oh, that is so cool. I need to be broken like a glow stick. That was one thing that my ex-husband was good at was back cracking. Like it's the only time once we were very close to divorce. It's the only time I really wanted to have a hug from him was to get him to crack my back. That's hey Pete, that's what you were useful for. Well, you also, provided DNA for a child, so that was useful too. But yeah, the other stuff, but your back cracking was all right. There we go. My friend Kelly used to say when we were in youth politics, my friend Kelly used to say whenever we'd start to like rag about somebody and start doing that like, gossipy thing about so and so who we would say, Pete is not in the room, but it's subliminal message, Timberwolf. I'm sure Pete is not in the room. He's got better things to do, like look through his little black book for his next conquest. Or at least the next person who's going to say no to him. Oh, what was I talking about? Holy poop. Never mind. Clearly wasn't important. It's all your fault, Timber. Big black book. It's a little black book. Was I talking about poop? Was I? I don't think I was. I hope not. I hope not, shitty plug. Oh my goodness. By the way, if you're listening, if you're watching right now, if you're watching right now on YouTube, there is a person whose name is Shitty Plug Vintage. So when I say Shitty Plug Vintage or I say Shitty Plug, I'm not insulting them. It's not an insult to that person. That's the name they chose. Oh, thank you, Millicent. Yes, private message. Angie says that to join the Fashion Ray chain on June 15th. It's for all genders and all ages. And what else? Mimics, you want measurements? What measurements? It's about this big. The big black book. It used to be in his BlackBerry. And before that, his Palm Pilot. I do know that. Um, Canadian Chief said, yes, I went through this the other day with Shitty Plug Vintage. I feel bad for calling you shitty, but you picked it, so shitty it is. Exactly. The big black dudes do exaggerate a lot of things, but yeah. Anywho, back cracking. We were talking about backs. We were talking about backs for some reason. This is usually the moment when Dee comes in when I'm saying something absolutely ridiculous. So if she might be lurking right now going, I'm not even going to say anything right now because this is so ridiculous. Melody's back. Can you show how to separate a shipment when Whatnot puts too much in a box? Yeah, absolutely. Unbundle. Let's go. Unbundle Whatnot. Okay, so if you go to help.whatnot.com, it will teach you how to unbundle. So what you want to do is it splits a shipment. For those who don't know, if somebody in your show buys like a poop ton of stuff and it's not going to fit into one box and you need to put into two boxes, then you need to unbundle. So you go onto you sign into Whatnot. I don't have anything that I can unbundle or bundle for you right now because I've done all my shipments. But you go to your shipment, you select the shipment that you want, okay? So you are going to get charged one of your 5 free shipping adjustments for this. So what you want to do is you select the shipment that you want. You know, on the line on seller.whatnot.com, you go to shipments and there's one line for that particular person. You want to click anywhere on the grayish part of it or the light blue part, depending on how your laptop looks. Click on that. And then in the right-hand corner on the side there it's going to show all the items that they purchased. And then just below that, it's going to say unbundle. It's going to be it should be yellow, little yellow button that says unbundle. So you click on that and then it should let you click on each item that you want to unbundle. And then you confirm that those are the items that you want to unbundle. It's going to probably have a pop-up window. It changes all the time, but it's probably going to have a pop-up window that'll ask you, are you absolutely sure? And then once you do that, those items that you want to put in a different box will be on a separate line in a separate box, but it will cost you one of your shipping adjustments. I also want to point out for those who may not have noticed, when you go to your, there we go. When you go here to your front page, when you open up your app, if you're a seller, your seller hub is now down here. So it's no longer that you have to go to your account and then to Seller Hub. Seller Hub has now moved to here. So update your app. Whoops daisies. Update your app on the App Store or the Play Store. And then you'll see now that your Seller Hub is right there. And it will show you at the top, it will show you if you have any shipments that have to be done. So this is really helpful. Alabama Matthew says, but you can't do that after you print a label. No, if you've already printed the label, you can go back and edit and you might be able to do it then. I haven't tried, to be honest. My recommendation is to message support and ask them to cancel that label, and then you can do the unbundling. If you used flat rate boxes and it's not going to fit in the largest, if you chose flat rate, which I don't recommend for Americans, just because it does cause some of these issues when all things don't fit in, but otherwise, you can always Frankenbox. Like if you're using a priority or ground advantage, you can always create a Frankenbox. I've seen it where people have taken the 2 boxes and just made sure that 2 of the dimensions are the same and then like tape the living daylights out of it so it becomes one big box. Like it's 2 boxes together, taped together. It's not the best solution in the world, but do these glasses look, they do look like licorice all sorts, don't they? I just picked them because they kind of go with this. Alabama Matthew says I had a buyer bought like 20 pieces of milk glass and they put it all in one box. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what Whatnot does. I've sent out like humongous boxes, like huge boxes. If it'll fit and safely go, I'm shoving it in the big box and not using one of my, I don't like to use I'm so bad. I do not like to use my shipping adjustments if I can help it. Oh my god, all the egg jokes. You guys are just killing me. Oh my gosh. I love you guys. It's because I'm so the green eggs and ham. I don't believe in egg puns. Canadian Chief is agnostic. I love it. Congratulations to everyone who just got egg. It just means you get coupons. You've suffered through 3 of my shows. So I appreciate you. And thank you, Millicent, for being such an awesome mod. I love you. Peacock Jewelry says, a seller sends me jewelry taped into one ball of bubble wrap. I don't bubble wrap all my jewelry anymore because I'm crazy. But Angie says, I try not to use adjustments as I don't want to see them take away that away does help when needed. Yeah. The best thing to do is if you're going to scale up your whatnot business, when you're a small seller, you go, oh, well, it doesn't matter because I've got shipping adjustments because I only do 1 show a week and I don't sell a lot. But then one day you're going to have like a really good show. Like it happens. Just all of a sudden you have a really good show. And then you're all of a sudden like, oh my God, I can't afford these. I've used up all my shipping adjustments and now I still have 4 more orders and I didn't do my shipping right. A lot of people, they're small sellers and they don't care because it's not costing them any money now because to use up their shipping adjustments. But Angie's right. Yeah, they could take its shipping adjustments away from us. They could lower it. They could say, instead of 5, you're going to get 3 because it's probably costing whatnot a lot of money to give us 5 every week, right? Especially if there's a lot of little sellers who are all using up their adjustments. But when you scale up, if you start to get bigger on whatnot, you need those shipping adjustments for when you really have an issue that the box. Otherwise, learn how to do shipping right so that you don't have to use shipping adjustments very often. Like I had to do one of my shipping adjustments. It always makes me cringe, but one of my shipping adjustments was for 3 cents. 3 freaking cents. Like just I wish there was like if it's like $1 or less, let me pay for it. Let me just pay for it, whatnot. Because I feel like, oh my God, I'm using up a shipping adjustment, but there's no way I can make this package any smaller for a 3-cent difference. But yeah. So my recommendation is learn how to do shipping correctly and try not to work hard to try not to use your shipping adjustments so that when you get bigger, you are not going to suddenly have a show that costs you a fortune in shipping charges. So yeah. Mimic says, I play with dimensions by 0.1 increments. I sometimes do that, but sometimes it's just like if it's a lightweight item and it's over that, it's just going to do a shipping adjustment. And that was even with chit chats. So it is what it is. I think we've had shipping adjustments for over a year now in Canada. And I think I've had like maybe 4 or 5 weeks where I've had to use all my shipping adjustments. I try not to as much as possible. Although if I sold more, I probably would encounter more shipping adjustments, but I try to be really careful. But I think if I needed to shrink it and it costs money, sometimes it's like, if you can fit it into a smaller box to avoid the shipping adjustments, do it. In fact, you can create smaller boxes really easily. And a lot of times you will find that I ship you something and the box has been reduced in size because I like to reuse boxes as much as possible. So reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay. Oh my God, you guys and your egg puns are hilarious. Oh, Canadian Chief. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Okay. Now is the time to tell us what you sell and where you're from so that everybody can follow everybody else. And then while you're doing that and last chance for questions, I'm going to find someone who's on to raid. Ideally who's Canadian. Oh, I've never heard of these guys before. Oh, look at that. Huh. Oh, okay. Hang on. I'm going to listen into this one. Oh, there we go. Lexi says, hi, Kim. Good morning, friends. I'm from Toronto, and Lexi is amazing. She's like a superstar. Uh, I want to go into this show because, uh, oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to wait to see if this person, so who else do we have? Sorry, you guys are like going so fast on me with all of your, and there's Buy Now Shop 59. Hi, Terry. I'm having a jewelry show today at, I'm having a jewelry show today at 5:07 p.m. Lots of Avon in boxes and other vintage jewelry. No China or Hong Kong pieces. Awesome. Peacock, no, don't get out of bed. Stay in bed. It's a lie. Lexi says, I've been busy in life, but clothing seller over here. Lexi's amazing. Lexi's amazing. So you're going to be a superstar. Jan's Resin, Wood, and More. Okay, dude. I sell resin, jewelry, wood earrings, resin pendants, wind chimes, dream catchers, and glow in the dark items. Okay, this guy's not even answering me. Okay, thank you. Donna, I will check. Do you want me to check now? Awesome. Thank you. I can use the help. We can definitely use the help. Minimum wage though, but you know. All right, let me catch up here. Peacock jewelry. I posted an all made in China show, but only got one bookmark. I love it. One purple cactus says, I haven't listed anything yet. Welcome. Stuck at a point where it asks for weight for item. Is there a standard weight for, say, blouses, dresses, etc.? No, there really isn't, because they're all sort of different. So my recommendation is get a scale like this one. Get a scale like this. There's all kinds of different designs. Just make sure that like this one goes up to 30 kilograms, otherwise known as 65 pounds. So that's perfectly fine for most of what we do. So you want to weigh it with as if you had packed it. So you will get used to, after a while, you'll get used to like, what does something weigh? So for example, I know you're doing dresses and stuff, but I'm not going to take the shirt off my back. What's in here? Okay, so we got this purse, right? We have this purse. It's really cute. You're really cute. So I'm going to see how much it weighs. So everybody can kind of put in their guesses to how much they think it weighs. It is, gosh, it is 18.3 ounces all on its own. So I'm going to wrap this in tissue and then probably wrap it in clean paper too. And then it's going to go into a box, or it could go into one of those poly mailers if you want. I would suggest a box just to protect it a little bit more. So that's going to add at least another pound on. So that's 16 ounces. So that's 2 pounds. So I would put it in 2 to 3 pounds. And Timberwolf is correct. Timberwolf said 3 pounds. So what I want you to do is weigh the item. You can get like a basket. If you have like a bigger basket that you can put on top, and then you can put the clothes on that without worrying about trying to get the clothes to stay all on there. Put the basket on first, then hit the tare, T-A-R-E button so that it goes to 0. And then you can put your blouse in, and you'll get really quick at it. You'll just be like, boom, that says 8 ounces. Okay, I know 8 ounces and I need to add a little bit more. So that's 12 to 15 or 1 to 2 pounds. If you have like lightweight stuff, like a t-shirt, that might be more like 8 to 11. I don't know. I'm not a clothing person, but you will find that you will just get really fast with it after a while. It just takes some time. But definitely always put your shipping profile for your listing at the amount that the product weighs when it's shipped. You can create custom shipping profiles. However, if you did something like, t-shirts, if you're doing an all t-shirt show and they all weighed about the same, you could do like an average weight per t-shirt, and you could do that. But if somebody buys something out of your buy it now, or someone sees something in your background and says, can I have that dress too? You have to ship that you would have to ship that in the same custom shipping profile, because every custom shipping profile creates its own box. So your buyer outside of that custom shipping profile, anything that's not that t-shirt custom shipping profile, would end up in a new box. So your buyer would pay way too much in shipping, and they'd be like, I don't want it. I'm not going to buy that now because the shipping's way too high. So I just say stick with the Whatnot. If you stick with Whatnot's profiles, you'll be fine as long as you keep your weights up. All right. I'm trying to scanning. Mimics found a rock dealer. Mimics, you're gonna come up here in the summer, and we're gonna go rock hunting. You're totally coming up. I'm gonna kidnap you. Jan's Resin, Wood, and More says, I started a jewelry show last night, but storm hit and knocked me off. Oh no! Oh goodness, that's sucky. I hope you're safe though. Beehive 5, what a great name. Hi, I'm a new seller. I'm just selling from my closet at the moment. I love it. Please bookmark and follow Beehive 5. I love it. Okay, and Mimix is getting another giant opal. If you really love gemstones, you have to follow Mimix. Amazing. Canadian Chief says, I used a Wii Fit to weigh packages once. Oh yeah, that's right. The Wii Fits like weigh you. I forgot about that judgy thing. That's why I don't use mine. I forgot about that. Mimic says, I did that with a body scale. I step on without a box, try again with a box, and subtract. Oh my goodness. Wii Fit has a per option where you do the same but pick your pet. A pet option. So my pet just happens to be a box of video games. Oh my goodness. Beehive 5 says, I feel like Whatnot overcompensates for weight eventually anyway. Yeah, if you're in the States, if you're a US seller, the way that your shipping works is a lot more complicated, but also like, once you get to a certain weight, it's the size of the box that matters versus the weight that's in it. Angie says, take my kids, they love rocks. Yes, bring them up. We should do a camping trip. We should totally do like a Whatnot camping trip, but it has to be around thrifting and rock hunting. Buy Now Shop 59 says, a piece of jewelry with packaging is usually 1 to 4 ounces. I use a Weight Watcher scale. It has grams, kilograms, ounces, and pounds. Yeah, I have a Weight Watcher scale too that I keep in the car just in case I need it for Whatnotting when I'm on the go. Canadian Chief, you like rocks? Yes. There's a place called the Sodalite. It's the Sodalite mine in Bancroft, Ontario. You want to go to Quebec for raw gasbite. Ooh. Xander and Ethan also like thrifting. They're learning. Yay! We'll get them so hooked that they'll have their own shows as soon as they are old enough. Mimic says, I have 2 kitchen scales and a mini scale. Yeah, I've used my mini. I took my mini scale thrifting one day, which is, the little ones that are used for usually measuring out small amounts of plant product and oregano. Yes, it's just oregano, man. So they're very helpful sometimes when you go thrifting, but not for the heavy stuff. 7 and 9, they also weigh and help measure. Oh, that's so sweet. Peacock says, only rocks here on Vancouver Island is rhodonite, but the claims prevent rock hunting. Oh, that's true. Yes, claims. I was listening to CBC News and they were talking all about claims, and there's like, especially in BC, and there's like rock hunting organizations you can join, and then you go out together and you rock hunt together, and then you come back to these like, they have their own little clubhouse, and it's like a rock hunting clubhouse, and that sounds like a lot of fun. And Angela Ashley said, I just updated my rewards program. New season starts June 2nd. Yes, so I will be talking about that on Monday, on June 2nd. I will be doing my 2 shows on Monday will be about the rewards club for anyone who hasn't set it up yet. So in the morning, I will walk you through me doing my rewards club, and you'll see my thought process and me explaining everything step by step. And then I'll answer questions as well on Monday night. I have no guarantees as to how well I'm going to be on Monday, because I'm about to do 3 solid days of nonstop work, and that will usually knock me out for about 3 weeks, where I will not be doing much else. So don't expect much from, don't expect blah. You see, already I'm done. Don't expect much from me. I had a dream last night, because again, what my brain does is it goes through everything, and it does worst case scenario planning. And in the middle of the auction, I was like giving people different bids than what they actually, and then of course I woke up in a panic. Um, thank you, Millicent. Look at you. Mimics, what aren't you going to have? What aren't you going to have? You're amazing. Okay, who are we going to raid? We're not going to raid that guy, because he is not actually live in the way that you should be, and he seems to have ended his show anyways. Where was that guy that I saw that I was like, oh my goodness. All right, the sports card guys seem to be doing okay. I'm actually really curious. I've never been in this guy's show before, or person's show before. I shouldn't assume it's a guy, should I? So I think we're gonna go there. We're gonna go to Flash Find Zon. They're Bixbite. Is that somebody who's on right now? Or are you just saying something random? No, 0 followers. Oh, okay. No, mimics. Okay, I'll be all right. I promise. Who did I say? Sugar plums. Flash find. Flash find. So we're going to go there. I made a silver pendant with green garnets. It's for sale, maybe. Ooh, Peacock. Peacock is amazing jewelry. If you haven't checked out one of Peacock's shows, you need to. Okay, last call for questions. If I miss, I'm going to just double check the questions. I think I got everything. All right, I think I got all the questions. Okay, just have to double check. All right, so we're going to go into Flash Find. Flash Find Zon. They now they've already sold 1,000 items, but I've never seen them. Clearly I don't follow everyday electronics. So they're a Canadian seller, already at 1,000. So let's check it out. It's mixed electronics, and I'm just curious to see how they do their shows. So let's go in and see, and throw up a whole bunch of Canadian flags, or whatever I want it, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do Canadian flags. You do you. Okay, love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I won't be on Saturday.